And that's it. Or live.
That's it.
That's all it takes.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it takes a minute for people to come on. It doesn't really matter what you do in the beginning, except for the people that watch it after it's live. They get to see the whole thing.
What about the comments?
Yeah, the comments can keep going.
Okay.
So 2 people are watching right now. Hi. All right, live at the Hive. Almost the middle of October. I can't even believe it.
I'm allowed to drink beer on this, right?
Yes,
okay.
We are upgrading. It's political talk, so we needed social lubricant. Cheers.
Cheers.
Actually, I've had beer on the show a couple times now.
Have you?
This is my first Guinness, but when the DDP was here, they did for Celebrate Summer, we did a blind beer taste test to see if I could guess which ones
cool.
which breed. I did pretty good at that, actually. So you can scroll back through the lives to see that one. Hello, everyone. I hope your week is going well. We are still in the middle of the Adult Rec series. I feel like I've been talking about this forever, but it is still ongoing because there are a lot of adult rec sports that happen here in Colchester. So today we put up the video for the rock wall at the rec. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Holy Lord, that was tough. Tough but fun. Why are you laughing?
I'm just picturing you on the rock wall. It'd be kind of funny. That's all.
Okay, you know what? Ladies, I'm telling you right now, number 1, don't wear shorts. Number 2, wear dark pants, because I wore light pants and that harness goes around, cups and lifts. So if you're really keen to watch that video.
I'm sorry, I got a vote already. Thanks, Tim.
I'd vote for him too. But yes, I had a lot of fun on the rock wall. It ruined my nails and my forearms were sore from clinging for dear life.
I did it when it first opened. I haven't been on there. And God, it's been open 3 years now.
More than 3.
Yeah.
I've been here for 5 and it was open before that.
Gee.
Yeah, time is a-flying. So if you haven't checked out the Adult Rec series, there's going to be a link to our YouTube channel in the description here. So we have been posting every 3 days a new video of a different rec sport that we're trying. I think we still have coming out. We just did the Bowlacade, which was super fun. I'm a terrible bowler. I'm not good. It's fun. I love doing it with people. There were a ton of people in the bowling leagues too. I had no idea how many there were.
Yeah, I know. My mother-in-law goes every Thursday, and
my parents do too.
Ass.
They love it. Yeah, there was a ton of people and a wide age range. I really liked it. What else do we have coming up? We're doing curling soon. We've got jiu-jitsu coming up, and there's definitely some more I can't think of now, but we did some really good ones for the last few weeks. If you haven't had a chance to check them out, you can see them on our Facebook page, or you can head over to churrobuzz.com and see them on our video tab, or you can go to the YouTube channel at Churrobuzz and check out the ones we've done so far. Would love to hear what you think about those because we're having a really great time doing them. So some other events we have tomorrow is the opening of, oh, look at Amy! Hi, Amy! I'm like a squirrel, I'm sorry.
There's also Popo.
I was like also wondering why there's police lights flashing outside our windows right now. Oh, there's some kind of protest. Is there a protest?
It's a protest. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we got a protest happening right now. Yeah, they're walking by our studio.
Do you want to keep talking about your things and all?
Yeah, kind of. Okay, so he's gonna go check out what the protest is. But tomorrow, October 10th, is the grand opening, finally, of the CMHA building on Prince Street. So it is the old bargain shop that is, I'm not sure the exact address, but it's a little further down on Prince Street, past church. And it is having its grand opening tomorrow, October 10th. They have at 10:30 a.m., they're going to have a walk for mental health. At 11 is the official ribbon cutting ceremony. And at 11:30 till 2, they're doing a community barbecue. Are you going to that tomorrow?
The community barbecue, when is that?
The CMHA opening.
I would love to. No, I can't make it tomorrow. I will go again.
We'll be there, and we'll be covering it. So all of those events you can find either on the Facebook page for the CMHA grand opening or on their website, or we've also got some details listed in our newsletter, which comes out weekly, and it's coming out tomorrow morning. So if you sign up at churrobuzz.com or on the Facebook group for the weekly newsletter, it comes out every Thursday morning, and it gives you a detailed description of all the events that are happening in the coming week. So sign up for that.
It's actually a really useful email. There's a lot of people who talk about it.
I know, right?
Well, it's hard to get everything that's in one place where you find out all of the events that are going on. So
You have no idea how long that thing takes to put together. So yes, we know, and we're super glad. The numbers are growing every week. We are glad people are enjoying it. And if you ever have suggestions on things that you want to see or feedback, we would love to hear that too. At the beginning of every month, we try and put kind of a snapshot of what's coming on the month coming so that you can check it out. But we also have an events calendar on turobuzz.com where you can see more than just the week ahead if you want to check that out. So turobuzz.com events calendar. Go check it out. So tonight,
we're talking election.
we are talking election. Not like that crazy rambunctious debate that happened on Monday. We are just straight up wanting to know. Debbie Barnhill said hubba hubba, both of you. Thanks, bud. We are talking voting, period. Why do so many people not vote? Do you vote? Do you not vote? Why or why not? These are the things we want to know. I know you vote.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
do.
you're here. That's
Yep.
right. I've only started voting in the last few years.
Just recently?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I never felt I never knew enough about it. I didn't know who to choose. So I just never did it. And that's the honest to God's truth.
Well, did you understand even the difference that there's like municipal and provincial and federal? And
I mean,
I'm warm, so I got to take this off.
yeah, it's 1,000 degrees in the studio. Sorry. If Denise is watching, it's still warm. I mean, I know there is a difference between municipal, federal, provincial kind of thing, but I just felt like I didn't know who to pick, and I didn't know how to educate myself. Anita, I vote Alicia. What a world we would live in. Hey, taco stands on every corner. But yeah, I never knew how to educate myself on who to vote for, so I just didn't do it.
Well, I mean, there's tons of garbage out there in terms of the internet, and not making fun of social media, but you get all kinds of people making things really simple on Facebook and Twitter and slamming. But there's actually, for people who are like, oh, I don't really know, there's a couple of really good sources. Like CBC, actually, if you go to their site, they've got a ton of information where they kind of break down, here's what the parties are saying, here's what they're saying you can do. Maclean's magazine, it's another great one where they just kind of take these, sometimes they're really big ass platforms that you and I would never go through in detail. But what they do is they kind of break it down into simple chunks. Maybe, what do you care about? Is it education? Well, maybe there's a few points online. Go check it out. Is it healthcare? You know, the biggest thing is like politicians typically don't talk to the younger demographic because the younger demographic just doesn't show up to vote.
Are we still the younger demographic?
No, I'm not. I don't know about you. There's a few ages.
No, I'm a few years younger.
But this is the first time in Canada. Where that millennial group actually could sway or do something, because we're now a big
terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's true, right? So I get why people are frustrated, because they're like, damn old politicians saying the same old garbage, blah blah blah.
Well, and then you watch the leader debate, which is like them just yelling at each other for however long. That's not helping anybody's case.
Yeah, I know, but I guess, I mean, I don't know, how does this work? Do people on here, how do we know who's voting and who's not?
They can choose to chime in like people have been doing here. We've got Anita
Vote
says,
Compass, yes.cbc.ca. That's really great.
Thank you, Deb. And Anita says lack of education on the systems is the problem, for sure. I mean, it's not something they're talking about. Like go ahead.
I was going to say, okay, we watch the news and we hear like,
do we?
Yeah, but or Afghanistan is now, people have jumped from bombs to be able to go and vote, and they avoid getting shot, and they vote, and we're like celebrating, rah, 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 this is so great. But then in Canada, it's like, yeah, I might vote, I might not, right? So like, we're totally pumped when another country is doing it. But here, why is it? Maybe we're too comfortable.
You know what? In Australia, it is actually the law that you have to show up and vote. Even if you decide to go in and vote, I have no vote or whatever, scratch the vote. If you do not show up and have a counted vote that you showed up and did something, you get fined. And that, to me, I thought was like, yes, that's how it should be. No,
okay.
I feel 9 times out of 10, even if you went that far to go, you're probably not going to scratch a vote. You're going to choose someone.
Lots of people saying they're voting.
Yay! Yes, definitely. Good. And if you are voting, or if not voting, tell us why or why not that you are or aren't voting. I just feel like it's how it should be. If we fought to have this right to vote, and people then it should be mandatory that you have to vote. Even if you decide to go in and vote, I have no vote. You still have to show up and be accounted for.
Well, I look at it in two ways. One, you've got that kind of obligation, since World War II, even before that. Like World War II, 45,000 people died. so that, Hitler wouldn't invade and then you wouldn't have any vote. So there's that kind of like moral obligation that people have fought and died. Women march to get the right to vote. So there's that. So you kind of park that and go, well, it's important. Let's go do that to vote because it's right. But then there's also like the uneducated vote, right? Like people are like, well, I don't know. I'm just going to go vote for the sake of voting. Well, that's not ideal either.
No, that's a good point.
If you don't, I think to go in and do a little bit of reading and find out why. Like, for example, what's that saying? I was raised to believe that it was my responsibility, Deb. Totally cool. Totally
you know what? My parents, Jesus, sorry, Instagram. Oh, shit. Sorry, my bad. Trying to double dip here. I was raised, like, I always remember, so I'm not from here. I'm from Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. And for the longest time, Harvey Hodder was the PC elected candidate for our area, and I would go with my parents to rally support. I don't remember what it was called exactly, but but I don't know if it's because my parents were PC and that's how they were brought up and that's how they continued, or if it was the man that they believed in.
Gotcha.
So like it was always something that my parents did, but it was never explained to me why we do it, or if it could have been and I wasn't listening, let's be honest, but I don't remember my parents telling me or instilling in me that it's my responsibility to vote or why I should do it. It was just, they did it, you'll do it.
Same. I'm looking at Mark Austin's comment, which is kind of funny because he's right. The slogans, people boil it down to the simple little statements. Actually, Mark was brave enough to write that comment. If you want to know somebody who's really quite well versed on all things electoral and candidates and platforms, Mark's a wealth of knowledge. So people should just message him if they have questions about parties.
We can connect you in here. Okay, we've also got some stuff on Instagram. Sorry, I'm getting closer because my eyes are apparently not good to read that far.
No, and I know another legit concern, and again, here we're not talking about any particular party, right?
Yeah, not at all.
But the reality is you've got, there's times where you might like the leader, but you don't like your local candidate, right? Or you love your local candidate, but you really don't like the leader and their platform. Yeah. So how do you do that? Like, I get why people get frustrated with that. They really don't know how to vote because they like little bits and aspects of, one person or.
I just want to hop over to Trish's comment. She said, yes, I agree, Alicia. I am voting because every voice counts. We can't afford for people to not vote. This is our country, and we should all try and make a change. Every vote counts. Yes, definitely. And thank you so much for writing that. And, oh, sugar. Dang it.
Even your buttons.
I know, right? There we go. And Jess said, voting to put in my attempt to keep Shearer out. So, some people vote just to get the person they don't want in to vote, but I want to come back to that. So, I know a lot of people get confused. I saw a great comment on somebody's Facebook page a little while ago that said, I wish we could vote for the prime minister versus voting for the party to keep out the higher up person you don't want to have. So how does that work? Do you choose the person you think regardless of the party, or do you choose strategic? Is it strategic to choose the party you want on the federal level, at the municipal level? How does that work?
Oh, I don't think there's a magic answer. Some people get into vote swapping, going, I'll vote for this person if you vote for that person, and we negate each other out. We both feel good about exercising our democratic right. I don't know. I mean, I've had troubles with that in previous elections, right? Because there's all kinds of times where, you get blanket statements like, oh, the politicians don't care. Well, I do think they care. I think a lot of them who run really do care. The problem is they get into that big machine where the party's saying this, but they want to do that. I guess if I think the local person that we're voting for is actually going to be smart enough, they're going to make a difference, they're going to work, but maybe I'm not okay with the overall party, well, okay.
That's what I struggle with, and I think that's what a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah, I know. And there's no answer, right? There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just kind of at the end of the day, what do you feel good about? And I've had people who've gone in and said, look, I'm exercising my right to vote, but I'm going in and I don't really like any of them, so I'm going to put an X on the ballot and put an X and void the thing out. So I went in and did it, but I didn't vote for any of them because I don't really like my options. I've heard of that too.
I hadn't heard of that. That's
depressing.
Yeah, because it's like not making your vote count at all. I see what you're saying, though. I like the idea of you really need to worry about where you are, I think. I mean, yes, the national level matters as well, but I think you're right to say you got to look at the candidate who's right for you in your area and what they're going to bring to the table for you at home.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. And I mean, there's when people say, yeah, I don't know what your demographics are on this, but
it's primarily 35-44,
okay,
followed very closely by 25-44, and then closely at that is the 45 to 54.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, since World War II, basically, parents and grandparents have been going to the polls. And since like the 80s, it's kind of dropped off. The last election, I think a lot more people came out. And that was just this general, like any political party who's in for a long time, doesn't matter how things are, they get tired and we turf them out. Not that it's always the best. But I think it's one of those things where you get as educated as you can. It sounds silly. It sounds like a cliche. But go and do a little bit of research and those slogans that people make, someone's coming to take our guns away, or really, or so-and-so doesn't care about our youth. I mean, what does that really mean? Like, bury it down and just say, well, we're going to reduce taxes. Well, you're going to do that. What are you going to cut? Or we're going to have more programs. Okay. How are you going to pay for it? But people who are like just on a gut. Oh, and the one thing I guess I wanted to bring up is that whole idea, well, I'd like to be, we're having a beer here, but, if I can't sit down and have a beer with them, well, is that super important? I want somebody who can actually manage the country. It's like your doctor. They might have really shitty bedside manner, but they're a great surgeon. I want them fixing me, right? Same thing with kind of running the country or running the province or running the region. Okay, maybe they're not, the most super polished, attractive, pleasant, but are they good managers? Are they really good? Like, that's something people have to factor in. I guess that's one of my rants on how I look at it.
Okay, before we move on, quick there, I got a couple more comments here. Anita said they don't make it mandatory because they would probably lose their jobs if the apathetic voters and younger voters were forced to vote. I would be really curious to see what the results would be if it were mandatory to vote. Very curious to see, like, how many scratched votes would you have for people that just went in and X'd their ballot, or people that would make a snap decision or an educated decision. Really curious about that. Mark said he agrees with Deb about the vote compass. So what? We're going to come back to what vote compass is because I don't know anything about that. Anita said it's true. I like I can't pronounce his name to save my life. Jagmeet Singh. I know I'm just calling it using Singh. It's going to be tough to beat Jeff Regan here in my riding. He said, Rock Johnson said, the people should be voting on individual issues. The government should be hired to carry out the wishes of the public in a perfect world. Well, I mean, then you get mob mentality and stuff too. Like, I don't know if that there is a perfect system, but.
Well, that's the difference too. Like, you're electing a leader. So sometimes a leader has to give you your medicine too, right? And go, this isn't popular, but it's the right thing to do. They don't do that often because they know they're not going to get elected the next time. But it's, so there's Vote Compass. If you bring it up, it's a really cool app too, where you can basically look at it. You can assess where do you stand, where the parties, like, there's all kinds of detailed information. They threw that up there because I mentioned CBC has a general breakdown, and so does Maclean's. Vote Compass is another awesome one. That's all that is. And it's just a great way to go and get informed.
Right. Sorry. So, no, that's okay. So to recap, you can go to the CBC website, Maclean's website, or Vote Compass and look up the people in your riding as well as the federal candidates and look at their platforms. Did you say there was a way to go if you wanted health issues, you'd see what all their, and which site was that on?
God, I think the Maclean's one here, I had that up before, where you could go through. And
so Maclean's.ca.
Yeah, they basically took it, and the others do that too. But I mean, you can just go and pick by, is it education that you care about? Is it seniors? Is it whatever?
That is super handy.
It is really good because if you hear the news, you get all the stuff, you see the attack commercials and all that other crap. But
so this is here, right? Yeah. Okay. So if you go to Maclean's.ca and follow in through the links for the election, there's actually a place there where they have, are you interested in taxes, economy and affordability, jobs and skill training, deficits, energy, education, childcare, and you can click on those headings and find out what each platform is saying, not platform, sorry. Yeah, I guess a platform would be, what each party candidate is saying about those issues. So if you solely want to know about the education or childcare issues and click on those, then that's going to give you the information you want to know on what they are promising to do on macleans.ca and Vote Compass, and well, probably, like you said, on all the websites you can find them, but we're here looking at the macleans.ca one, and it's quite nicely laid out and easy to click on and find what you're looking for.
And even though people are making comments here, Mark's got a good one you should read out in a second, but you know, don't go through Facebook comments. There's trolls. It's awful. It's negative. It's, you know, like, go to trusted news sources to find out what candidates really are saying, because you get into the comment, there's trolls that are just paid and algorithms that make stupid statements that aren't even true. And that's, you know,
what?
Imagine fake news. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Mark,
no,
had a
that's
good
okay.
point
Well,
about
just want to go up to Deb's first. Deb said, do parties get funding for receiving votes in an election regardless of the outcome? I was trying to talk this through with my daughter and couldn't answer intelligently.
And check Mark's comment out before.
Okay.
He says,
Mark says, unfortunately, a spoiled ballot just registers as a mistake rather than a protest, which is why many advocate for a none of the above box. Anyone with the last name, none of the above, would do very well. No kidding. Oh, and Jess posted a link there for a CBC form there. This is a great one. I haven't checked.
Use interactive.cbc. Yeah. It's another CBC platform there. Yeah.
Right, others. But it does have the breakdown for each issue for each party and platform.
Cool.
So basically, if you don't know who to vote for, there are plenty of websites out there where you can go. You can look in by the issue you're most concerned about, whether it's healthcare, whether it's education, childcare, any like that. You can see what all the people running and their parties' platforms are on those issues specifically, or you can go to the websites and look up the people that are running and see what their platforms are running on their own without having to look up a specific issue and see if anything speaks to you. There are plenty of resources out there to check out who's running and make your decision based on that.
And if you think, I guess, that, oh, my vote doesn't matter, if you have 10, 20, 50 people that you know are in the same, you know, whether it's the demographic or you have an interest group, if you call any local politician office and say, there's 50 people here who are definitely going to vote on election day, and we have some concerns we want to discuss, you're going to get their attention. Yeah, you're right. People get frustrated because individually, does my individual vote matter? Well, yes, of course, it does matter.
Yes.
But you can get more attention when you, and it's as simple as like talking with friends and family and people that you're, that you know. And if like younger groups, when they say they don't listen to us, well, if you actually organize and said, let's get together and we'll call the politicians and say, we will all, 100 of us go out on election day. All the politicians are going to go, I'm going to listen to that.
I genuinely hope every person who has taken part in a climate strike or anything like that this year had better be going to the frigging polls and casting a ballot.
I agree.
Ooh.
Even ride your bicycle there.
That was hilarious. I'm sorry to the person that happened to, but I had someone from Jacksonville, Florida. Hi, bud. Someone says, what are your guys' opinions on the prime minister race?
Well, it's kind of like the whole election piece anyway, right? Like whether people like or dislike Trudeau. I think that's the other thing too online. You can check the polling out and see where people are leaning towards. It's like 28% right now that Trudeau would get elected again. Outside of that, we have companies.
Well, just saw that she joined it. Would you join to see if I was here?
Okay.
Take the dog with you. Okay.
Anyway, what do we else have there?
But sorry.
Breakdown for each issue. Yeah, each party. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. Speaking about the spoiled votes, Tasha chimed in because she was a deputy registrar for 1 year and she only saw a few spoiled votes. Thankfully, 98% of the people voted properly. Well, that's good to know, for sure.
I mean, it was much better last election. I'm just curious to see how many people are going to go out and vote on the 19th. Oh, and we should talk about that. You don't just have to vote on the 19th.
No.
Did you get your little card in the mail that says?
And this thing too.
Did that come in the mail?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I don't know. I didn't see that part. This is a really important one because it says that you're already registered. They tell you where you go to vote. But the biggest thing in my region anyway, I can vote on October 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th.
Advanced polls.
I always do advanced polls. It's just easier. You beat the lineups on election day.
Oh,
you
don't? In 2 days.
Yeah, it's like this weekend. You can go out and vote this weekend. Oh, and if you didn't...
Are you voting?
Oh, yeah.
Who are you voting for? Okay.
No.
How do you choose who you're voting for? Anonymous stranger that just wandered into the studio?
have my reasons.
Okay. But the biggest point is, it's, you know, people say, oh, election day, you get busy with work, with the kids' schedules, with everything. You're like, I don't have time. The advance polls are all this weekend. Like
11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and it's 12-hour days. It's 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
And it's really fast.
Yeah.
So
it's on your voting card where the advance polls are. Is that correct?
Yep, it is.
Yep.
It tells you, it depends on your neighborhood, right?
Yep.
They have your postal code and
Yep.
they tell you where to go. So
I've seen the signs already on my way into work.
if you didn't check your mailbox and or get this yet, you should go, and you can call actually Elections Canada and say, I didn't get this. For example, my stepdaughter is 18 and we just got 2 of these at home, and it wasn't until I was coming here tonight I realized it doesn't look like she's registered to vote. So we got to call and get that. And I think we have until the 15th to take care of that.
Right. And
actually, as long as she shows up with legitimate ID anyway at the polls on election day.
proof of address and stuff. I think.
All that. She's good to go.
Well, actually, yeah, this also came in the mail. It's a guide to the federal election, and this tells you everything you need when you show up to vote. Make sure you're registered, your current address. Watch for your voter information card, which looks like this. You don't want hordes of people showing up. Make a plan to vote on what day are the pre-elections. Find out who the candidates are in your riding and bring your ID to vote. So all you need is your voter card and your government-issued ID to go and vote. And then what else is in here? It tells you the different ways to vote. So whether it's advance polls or by mail, you don't even have to go and show up at the time, but there are deadlines that apply to that, which are probably coming up rapidly. Showing your ID, and it gives you what the different IDs, your driver's license or any other card issued by the Canadian government. You need 2 pieces of ID. Oh, that's for the
Or.
Yeah.
Or.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So these are pretty handy with some go-to information if that shows up in your mailbox as well, with what you need and how to do it and where to go. Elections.ca is a pretty good resource as well if you want to check out the people in your area there.
Yep.
So we've also got the 21st. Oh my God, what did we say? Did we say the 20th?
We said oh, maybe I said the 19th.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
I did. I was looking at something on the screen. 21st.
Did I say a date at all? 21st.
21st.
Yeah. And the advance polls are starting this weekend, the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So you can see on your voter card, it's different for everybody. The advance poll listings are on there. So you don't have to wait till the 21st of October to go. Michelle said, I'm voting early so I can stop thinking about it. Well, I mean, hey, whatever gets it done. And she said, yeah, you said 19. Thanks, Tasha.
Yeah, got it.
I'm glad so many people wanted to talk about this because it is such a, well, I mean, it's everywhere for one.
Yeah, I know. And people are all happy too when the election signs go away, right? Because they're ugly, but
as well as the controversy about the reusing of election signs that say re-elect when they're not incumbent.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is on that, because people who were elected 8 years ago and then we're out and we're back, technically it's right, but I don't know what the rules are. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
What does the word incumbent mean?
The incumbent? They're there already.
Right now.
They're in office.
They're in office currently, so you are re-elected.
The incumbent.
You
said incumbent. Okay. Anyway.
This is the first one, I'm just saying. And I'm only halfway down.
Oh, yeah, and this is that. Sorry. We said
19th, yeah. Fake news.
Yes.
We are a credible source here at TurboBuzz, damn it, with breaking news. Okay, so we covered how to educate yourself on who is running in your area and the different platforms, where they can find the information, whether it's macleans.ca, elections.ca, CBC, Vote Compass. Is .ca or .com?
Vote Compass, it was It is compass.com.
Votecompass.com. And how you can look up if you have specific issues you're looking at, whether it be education, child care, health care, and see what the different candidates are saying on those specific issues, or if you want to just look up what each person's platform is and what they're running on.
Yeah.
Someone, I can't remember if I said this earlier, I probably did, but someone had mentioned that it would be a really good idea if you could also vote for the prime minister this way rather than voting for a party. And I don't understand why it's not like that.
I know, right? They'd have to change that. But yes, it's kind of part of the party system. So you're voting the whole group and their platform. And yeah, I would love it to be different. I think First Nations have a different system, like different representation, where I think let everybody run as an independent, but our system isn't geared that way.
That's right.
Unfortunately.
I know. I wish states could vote.
It's better in the States, though. I mean, really,
Well, yeah.
it's like 3.5 years of electioning. And
That's pretty brutal.
I know, that's a long one. I think in Canada, it's a lot more concise. It's shorter. We have it a lot better in that sense.
I'm really impressed with how many people have been talking about the leadership debate that happened on Monday. Like, I've had clients coming in all week of all ages saying, like, did you see this, and talking about it. And that, to me, that gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah, I know. It's nice to see people get more engaged. And some people do. Like I said, social media is awesome because you do get to bye doggy.
She's not moving.
Yeah. But social media you get to do it. But I guess the one thing my biggest frustration is seeing the bullshit on social media and people like tearing each other up without arguing facts. You know. Like,
I will have you know, I've only cussed on this show once.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just saying, it has been a clean family show, with the exception of once I dropped an S-bomb. I'm just saying.
I apologize.
Getting fired up on voting.
Okay, what else do we do with this, or is this?
I think we've covered all the topics. Let's see. We got Anita said, I just did this quiz similar to Vote Compass. It was interesting, and she posted the link there. David Waters said, you mentioned going to the party website, but that's just as unreliable. Good point. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, rather than just going to, it's good to go to the third party, do you think?
I know it oh, my wife's taking off in an airplane right now.
We love you, Amy. Fly safe.
Yeah, I know the political party sites obviously are going to be geared. There is tons of information there. You sometimes get a glimpse of who locally is supporting them, which is sometimes telling too. But yeah, it can be totally fair point.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. No, that's a good point. It's like maybe not going to the parties to go to the third party websites. I think is probably a good point.
Yep.
Actually, I'd be curious to go to both and see if there's much of a discrepancy between.
There's a lot of stuff to filter through.
That's true.
I'm lazy, so
yeah.
I love when I know good reporters are going through and really picking it out. I mean, I know it's lazy, but I don't have the time to go through the whole thing.
No, you're right. And I think that's what it comes down to, is people don't want to take the time to go through all of those sites. So I'm going to check out the link, the quiz link that Anita posted there, and just see what that tells me. Because I kind of like the idea of going through guided questions like that and seeing what pops out on the other end, saying, well, I think this is the person for you or the party for you. Like, I hadn't thought of that before, and I kind of like that option. I'm curious what it'll tell me. Yep.
It'd be cool to see where you land. Who do you think you'll be? Like,
I truly don't know, because I'm never home. I'm always here. Campaigners should be coming here to talk to me. But I had been thinking that if I happened to be home when people came and they're like, what are the issues that talk to me? I was like, I don't even know. I would like there to be less taxes. That is the only thing that pops in my head. As a small business owner, we are taxed through the nine. So my most pressing issue is I just wish our taxes could be lower, because we're just so much of the money that we make is not ours. Yeah. But I don't think I don't have kids. I don't have, so there's no education issues or healthcare or childcare, or well, not healthcare. I haven't had to use healthcare much, and I have a doctor. I'm one of the lucky people that has a family doctor, which is, but I recognize that that's an issue. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know where I would come out, because I'm a weird.
I know, but that's the thing. When you do get the chance though to ask them about that stuff, that's kind of a great way to do it, is to say, well, look, I'm a small business owner. What can you do for me? And see what they say. I see the F word
of Twitter during the election. Yeah. Good point. I wonder if Trump will be tweeting during our election.
I know. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen on the 21st, because I've supported 3 different parties in different times. I've done video work for conservatives and for liberals, and I've voted NDP once. Like, I'm not a card carrying person. Yeah. I actually hate card carrying stuff, because
what does that mean?
It means that they've been a member of the Liberal Party their whole life. So no matter what, they're going to vote Liberal, or same thing with conservative or whatever. I don't like that. Yeah. I kind of like, what's your plan? Yeah. What is it you're going to do? What do you like? Are you intelligent enough? Those are the things that I care about. I really don't care about the party color or affiliation. But.
No, I don't. That never phases me either. No, that's not something I consider. I'm more worried about the person. But that's what kept me from voting for so long, is like I wasn't allegianced to a party. So I didn't know how to vote, to pick properly on the bigger scale of what does it mean if I want to vote that person federally. If I vote this person municipally, what does it mean for the prime minister or the party that I'm voting for? I could never really grasp that.
Yeah.
Yeah, family doctors, provincial need to understand what is federal and what is provincial. 100%. I don't know.
I know, and David brings that up, and it's a really good point. But the reality is, the federal government has been talking about transferring more money from the feds to the province to support healthcare. So you're right, David, but it actually blends in, right? Because the province is responsible ultimately for a lot of the decision making, but the federal government has been making promises, and a couple of parties have been making promises in terms of we're going to give more money to the provinces for that. So that's why but he's bang on. Again, it comes back to, people complaining about the roads. Well, maybe that's municipal. It can get confusing. That's why you got to do the research. It's empty.
I was looking at it. I was like, I have this much left. Did I talk more than you, or you were
I'm parched. It's hot in here.
I exist in this temperature. I can't do anything about it. It's like a freaking rainforest. But I don't drink these while I work.
What else do you want to cover?
I think that's it. Hopefully that helped people to be more inspired to check out the people that are running in their area, or go vote. For the love of all that is holy, go vote. It matters. Go to votecompass.com, go to macleans.ca, go to CBC. There's lots of stuff in these comments where people tagged excellent resources to go check out who is running, what they're running for, and check out what issues matter to you. Whether it's, if you want to go check out education and those are your biggest concerns, find out what people are promising based on those topics. There are lots of ways to educate yourself without having to spend a time. I know it's like, I don't have time to go through all of these resources that we listed, but it's kind of important. So vote. Please vote. Yeah. You can do it starting this weekend. The 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th is the advanced polls, or the big day is October 21st.
8:30 to 8:30.
And the advanced polls are 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So you've got lots of time to get out, and there are some in everybody's area, and they're right on your voter card if you want to go check out where the advanced polls, or you even driving around, see the yellow signs already up to where the advanced polls are.
Cool.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you.
It was fun.
I know.
Just side note to guests that come in the future, he brought these, glasses and all. I'm just saying, the standard has been set.
I just had to grab something in the fridge.
Good. Okay. We love you all, and thank you for tuning in. Matthew says, cheers, guys, you rock. Just a side note, has anyone seen Singh's hair when he took his turban off? It's glorious. No, but I believe you. Love you guys doing this. Thank you for everybody who commented. We love it when people get in and interact with us and have your questions. And it seems like a lot of people are interested, so that makes me happy.
Yay.
If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, it's coming out tomorrow morning. Weekly newsletter, turtlebuzz.com, or the events calendar for everything that's happening on a monthly to monthly schedule. Check it out.
Cool.
Thanks for tuning in. High fives.
Really?